Grace and peace, and welcome to What Do You Think Talk Show with your host, Prophetess Burgess Peoples. We are so excited to have you join us today. Man, we have some information for you on this day that is going to take you into the next season of your life. This show enlightens, encourages, and we just offer up a bundle of information from the whole world gamut, not just from the ministry, not just from the pulpit, but in the marketplace as well. Our special guest today is Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson of the city of Gary. This woman is an amazing individual. She is a woman of God, and she is true to form. She walks and talks and do exactly what she says she's gonna do. And that gives me great joy to even know her and to have her on our show today. But before we bring Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson on, there's a scripture the Holy Spirit had our pastor read to us on Sunday, but this scripture reminded me of her, so we're gonna share it with you. Psalms chapter 1, verse 1 to 3 from the Amplified Version. Blessed, fortunate, prosperous, and favored by God is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, following their advice and example, nor stand in the path of sinners, nor sit down to rest in the seat of scoffers, ridiculers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law, his precepts and teachings, he habitually meditates day and night. He will be like a tree firmly planted and fed by streams of water, which yield its fruit in season. Its leaves does not wither, and in whatever he does, he prospers and comes into maturity. In 2011, Mayor Karen ran, and she won the election for the mayor of the city of Gary. When she got into office, it was not all peaches and cream. It was not a party. It was hard work. So she was able to get us back on the map, get us to the table to have the hard conversations and secure some things that were lost and to build on that to get us where we are today. She is up for re-election, and May 7th is right around the corner. So today I want you to hear from Mayor Karen and actually listen to what she is saying, so it's cohesively and collectively we can together vote her back in office so we can take this platform that she has worked so diligently on to the next level. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, I'm Addison Bellholm. I'm 11 years old, and I'm a member of the Polished Pebbles Mentoring Program. It was great shadowing Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson for a day. I got to see all the amazing things she does for the community. If I was old enough, I would vote for Mayor Karen, and you should too. Thank you for being a great example of Black Girl Magic. Good luck on your campaign.
So grateful and lucky for the time of this magnificent woman of God, Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson of the city of Gary. Now, I want you to really take a listen. You've heard a lot about her. You've heard her platform. You've heard some of the things that the public is saying, which is some great things. I just talked to Mr. Robert Buggs, who's lived in this city for 46 years. He's like have this love-hate relationship going on.
He does.
But this is what Mr. Buggs said to me. Burgess, I'm going to vote for Mayor Karen because I don't want to change the guard right now. I've been here for 46 years, and I'm ready to see the reinvestment of my city, quote unquote.
Well, that is a tremendous vote of confidence from Mr. Buggs, who we have had a dicey relationship, shall we say. But Prophetess Burgess, I just have to tell you what an honor it is to be on your show and to join you today.
Oh, we thank you. We thank you. Now, I've been working, reading, walking. Don't walk with this, ladies. You will lose weight. Believe me. When you look at her slogan, you see that she's the mayor that works. She truly does. And this is not a promise. It is not, one of those cachet things that people say when they're running for re-election or election. She literally works hard, physically and on paper. You can see the work, and when you walk through the city, and you're going to hear some of the things that's coming down the pipeline for us. And I'm just grateful to be a member and a citizen of Gary to see this from my own view. But more importantly, I want you to get to know this woman heart, and she's going to tell you her heart, which is her city.
Absolutely. There is no question. I believe that I have been called to this city for such a time as this, and it was interesting because I was reflecting, I think it was yesterday, on the fact that I had run in 03 and 07 unsuccessfully. And it wasn't until 11 when the finances were at our lowest because we had lost dollars due to the property tax caps that I was successful. And I was like, Lord, now you really have a sense of humor. And he was like, no, I believe that I've equipped you. I know that I've equipped you for this time. And it just has been a work of God to see how doors have been opened that we were not expecting. People who have come to say, we believe we can help you. It started with our resolution of a dispute with a casino where we had to make this road, and somebody said, well, we've got dollars that you can use to create that road. And I mean, I'm not talking about just like $1 million or $2 million. I'm talking about $10 million.
Yes. That
led to the resolution of a long-standing dispute, and the opportunity to do that and to make change while doing it has just been a blessing to me.
Yes. I'm going to go back because in 2011, when Mayor Karen took this office, it was not an easy feat. There were doors that were closed.
Sure.
Our seat at the table was kind of pushed back from the table. And then the other thing is, they even counted us off, wrote us off, that like we weren't even a city.
Oh yeah, there was this expectation that Gary would fold because of the loss of nearly $40 million in property tax revenue. That's a lot of money.
Yes.
Especially with a city that doesn't have a large budget. And so there was a need to leverage relationships.
Yes.
Leverage other people's money. One example of that is that IU had set aside $40 million to build a building with the building that is now the Cultural Center, the Performing Arts and Cultural Center. Well, I went to them and said, well, why haven't you built this building, and talked to the General Assembly, and they were able to say, well, we haven't seen the investment from Gary. I said, well, I don't have $40 million, but I can show you how serious we are by investing some of our dollars. Because of that investment, they made their $40 million investment. And what we did was, we on top of that paved Broadway, did new lighting, did crosswalks. Now that whole corridor looks like a totally different place.
And it does. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But I was at the job fair, and I have to speak about this because workforce development has always been my baby. When I first started working, my first job was in workforce development 20 plus years ago. But that job fair had over, I would say, close to 200.
Oh yeah, actually close
to 300. Yes, Gary residents.
Yes.
But the partnerships that you were able to build, and with your administration building, created over 3,000 jobs.
Amazon, UPS, Snyder Trucking. We have been very intentional about job creation and bringing new businesses, helping existing businesses to grow, because we know that that is the fastest way to expand our tax base.
Yes.
We understand that we need dollars in the city. We need tax revenue. And what better way to do it than to expand those people who are paying into the taxes?
I agree.
And that's what we've been doing.
I agree. And you're doing a great job of it. Thank you so much. Everything that the mayor is doing right now is for our children and our children's children. So when you talk to a mayor like this that actually have a plan, it would just blow your mind, because I've seen where the city has come from.
Sure.
And I see where it's going in my natural and spiritual eyes. So I'm just thankful for that. The other thing is about this huge project that's happening that we were blessed to get funding for, and that's the harbor.
Sure. So, there has for a long time been talk about the development of an intermodal yard. And as we began to talk to people with expertise in this area, it's been about the business of doing for the last year. Moving the casino, getting the partners that we need to make the investment, and seeing that investment through. And we are on the eve of making that happen. And here's the thing that we now understand: we can do it whether the casino moves or not.
Right.
We need the casino to move, but it is absolutely on the horizon. And what it means for us, for the city, for our community, is that there is an opportunity to create and realize an entirely new industry
Yes.
in the city of Gary. And that's serious.
Yes, and
That's
that
serious.
is huge.
Yes.
That prospect right there is amazing within itself. But again, every time I hear of new businesses, new construction, I'm hearing new jobs, creativity.
Yes.
I'm thinking of ways for people to move back here, and they will have like homes, and I mean just all these awesome things happening, and it is strategically happening, and it's going to be beneficial for everybody.
Everybody.
You know, so it's a great thing to have a visionary as a mayor. I can tell you, I've lived in a lot of cities, and I've seen some cities fail, you know, tremendously, and my heart goes out to them. And it's not that their mayor was that bad of an individual, but the vision was not made plain. The Bible tells us to write it down
Write
and
the
make
vision
it,
and make
make
it
it
plain.
plain. Yes.
Yes.
And so I was able to sit on some of the boards with the redevelopment department and
Sure,
see
sure.
the vision written down. And then I sat in a meeting and heard that it's coming to fruition.
Yes.
So I'm like, wow, this is like so amazing to me.
Well, you know, it's interesting because I'm not, you know, I like to see things happen. And like so many people who live here, they say, well, it's not happening fast enough. But what I've learned to understand is the value of planning, of taking time. When we wanted to tear the Sheridan down, it had been looming over City Hall for 20 years.
Wow.
We had to plan it.
Yes.
We had to make sure that we had the $1.7 million that we knew it would take to get it down.
Yes.
And we knew we had to get it from a variety of sources so that we could get it done. If you look at the rapid transit on Broadway,
Mhm.
that is a part of 2 years of planning. If you look at some of the infrastructure that we've laid, the paving of the streets, new sewers, the demolition of Delaney West
Yes.
and Concord Apartment, all of those things
Right.
took time, took trips to Washington, took conversations, took building on relationships.
Right.
And anything that is worthwhile getting done
Mhm.
requires planning. I had to learn that, but it's something that I now understand and adhere to. And so if somebody tells you they're going to do something and they don't have a plan, they're just talking.
Exactly.
It's just a conversation.
And that's true. And I learned that from you. Because I have a couple of things that the Lord always give me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not jumping like I used to.
Yeah.
I would be excited just to be used. And I would give that yes. I'm like, ugh. I have to wait and write this down and see if it's going to make sense. What is the benefit?
Yeah.
Is it going to help? Is it going to have longevity? Is the main purpose of me doing my strategic planning. So that's one little corner. You have a whole city
Yeah. Yes, we do.
to plan for. So everything that you do is for the benefit of every citizen that live here. And I need you guys to hear this. It's imperative now that you get this information and you make an educated decision on May 7th.
Sure.
You want to be able to work with a mayor that is working for you. And I don't have a problem with new things. I have a problem with changing the guard midway when something is right at the cusp of happening.
Well, what I always tell people is that it's easy for folks to talk about what's not been done.
Yeah.
Ask them about their plan. And if they don't have a plan,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't need to change.
That's right.
Because we have the plan,
Mm-hmm.
it's working, and we just need the opportunity to keep going and forge ahead.
Yes, and I agree with you. So all you wonderful voters out there, exercise your right to vote. It is imperative that you vote on May 7th. And early voting start is at April 9th?
April 9th.
April 9th, early voting starts.
Yes.
So you want to vote for the right candidate, and you live here. I will not allow somebody to come in and give me a catchphrase. I'm sorry. And so I have to share that with you. You really want to go with the plan that's going to work for you and your children, your children's children. The harbor, this deal is going to be here for the longevity.
For decades.
You know, it's not something that's going to happen in one night and then it's over. No. This has been planned out, strategically planned out, and it's going to be beneficial to all of us. And there are other things, Mayor, you want to share at this time?
Absolutely. We're talking about moving the casino to the Borman. You know, now, whether you gamble or not, what it provides is a $300 million investment that includes a hotel, but more importantly, that will drive other halo, retail, non-gaming related things that will now, you're looking at an entirely different corridor as you drive through Gary on 8094.
That is awesome.
We've got new housing coming downtown, the Broadway Lofts.
Yes.
Right across from, right down from City Hall, across from 504 Broadway.
Nice.
That's going to be something where we can have people who work in Chicago get off at the Gary station, walk to their homes.
Yes.
It's huge opportunities that are coming.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And it's not just downtown, it's every area. So wherever you live in Gary, you're going to see something new popping up in your area. I want you to embrace it. And if you hear someone speaking negatively about your city, your mayor, your administration, or even you need to change what they say, because what we say and what we put out in the atmosphere sometimes come true. I'm hoping that it just stay in your house though.
Yeah.
And not in our
true.
city.
That's
Because what I see is prosperity. I see growth. What I see is a new funding stream for this city. The Lord has shined upon us and given us an opportunity to live the life that we're supposed to be living. He has sent a mayor that is doing exactly what she was called to do in this season. And then there's other people that are working with her cohesively and collectively to make all of these things happen. And they're not being selfish about it. It's for all of us. So on May 7th, I'm going to need you to vote for Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson. And early voting, again, starts April 9th. Don't miss your opportunity and use that gift that was given to you, and that is the right to vote and to choose the right person to lead us to the next millennia. Is there anything else you would like to add, Mayor Karen?
Just thank you for the opportunity to join you. I want to thank your viewing audience for the opportunity to serve. It is an honor and a privilege to serve my hometown.
Awesome. Yes. So that is it for us today. Thank you guys for joining us. And again, I better see you guys at the polling place on May 7th. Yes, I'll be driving around. And this is Prophetess Burgess Peoples, and you have tuned in to What Do You Think Talk Show. God bless.